Okay. Let me guess, there's an echo again. I'm gonna have to try and fix that. Oh, there's no echo. That's amazing. I have no clue why there isn't. Alright, let's go ahead and swap things over. Oh my god, the echo is gone. I didn't do a thing. I didn't do anything. This is great. Okay. Okay, so. Wow, the music just faded out at the perfect time. There it is. Oh no, it's gone when I'm close to the mic. One sec. Okay. I am stacking this mic on a box right now. Oh, it was when I switched my face cam. Interesting. That's right. Somebody mentioned that before. Okay, well, let's try it again. No echo right now. Over here, and there is an aggressive echo right now. I honestly have no clue what could be causing that. Does the music echo as well? Because all the sound goes through one channel. Does the music change when I swap? Oh, it's fine. Okay. Weird. Okay. Awesome. I don't know. Hold on. I was halfway done making my tea. So while I'm putting these tea bags in, let me first say that it's been a long time since I've done a ROTOANIM thing like this. This is a pretty big type of ROTOANIM. Like, I'm just going to be doing the torso, upper torso, and the shoulder. I'm probably going to chop off one of his arms. And, yeah, so we're going to solve his head. And I was going to pre-solve this stuff, but then I realized I kind of have to talk about the spacing of this stuff a lot. We're going to do a crude solve of his head, not a very complicated one. We're going to do a very rough thing to get a solve for his shoulders, and by rough, I mean very rough. I have a trick for doing shoulders. And then we have to distance solve these things together, so that we can parent them to a rig later that we're going to make. We're going to make a very crude rig. Nope, no. Actually, it's much better now. Nope, no. Oh, the nope no's are for the... Is the music echoing? I forgot. Okay. Midgard, it's likely the webcam's mic picking you up in addition to your Yeti. I don't have another mic set up. Okay, what could be causing this? But things are fine right now? Things are okay? If I talk like this, are things okay? I just need like one more confirmation. Sauce, hello. Definitely tolerable. So it's happening. Is it a cool echo though? I can't remember how it sounds. I'm just give me one more second. I won't think about it for long, but let me think for one more moment about what might be causing it, because it's going through one audio channel. I'm amazed that Streamlabs has anything to do with it. And if it's me swapping from my other screens to this mainstream setup, I don't understand why the echo is not happening to the music. Atomic Troy, echo doesn't affect ability to hear you clearly. That is good. Okay, well, let's just deal with the echo. I have a new microphone coming in. It's a XLR mic, a dynamic mic. I'm ditching this mic as of 10 days from now. So let's just put up with the echo then. I'm not very good with the settings of this Yeti mic because there's multiple knobs, and also I have to go through the Go XLR setup, which has a lot more knobs. And I don't have any pads in my room, so it's so echoey that I have to have the threshold up in it so that we don't get any noise or traffic because there's ambulances everywhere outside. So my settings aren't fully set up properly. Okay, so that being said, maybe your Pocket 4K is picking up audio as well. Nope, it is not. And my Snowball mic, which I use for tutorials, is not. Yeah, the only way that sound can go through is I have a Go XLR, like a soundboard, under my computer right now. Everything is fed through that. So the audio that goes to the stream PC is one channel. Yeah, it's weird. We heard that tapping. No way. It didn't show up in the... Okay. I know where it's coming from. Okay, you guys were right. I know where it's coming from then. Actually, let me mute this mic. Testing. Testing. Can you guys hear this? Can you hear this? Okay, it's got to be the Blackmagic mic, which shouldn't even be on. Okay. I know what it is. One sec. I just got to swap over. I gotta be honest, it's weird that this is happening now, because if I didn't switch this setting, it will have been happening, well, since forever, because I've never adjusted this. Actually, you know what? I got a better idea. I am so sorry about this. Let me mute the music. Okay, so I've muted the music, and I'm going to mute my mic right now using the... I'm going to use the mute button on my Go XLR, and then I'm going to clap around and talk, and please tell me as fast as you can if you hear it. This is just going to help me zero down on where the source is, because I don't have another source showing up on Streamlabs. So I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to clap. Testing. I see no audio levels in Streamlabs right now at all. There is nothing. Wait, there it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, there we go. Bliss. Okay, so what was happening was the stream monitor that I use is so tiny, and part of my mixer was cut off. But my mixer is not cut off on my larger monitor, so I actually didn't know you can scroll on the mixer. It's gone. I'm an idiot. I'm not a technical person. I say this often, I'm not a technical person. I struggle to get all this setup working. Okay, so that was a lot of wasted time. So let me get started with this. I'm going to leave my mic up here. I kind of imagine it probably sounds better. Okay, so let me do a very fast solve of this, because we need a camera, obviously. And this point, I'm not going to put many points on this. This shot is so stupidly easy. But yeah, I just want to reiterate that I am not the best roto artist by any means, but that is when I use other rigs. Many rigs I find are very complicated, and we don't have a rigger at Track VFX, so we've had to just find some free rigs or download or buy some rigs off Turbo Squid and stuff. And a lot of these rigs, they're not specially made for match move. So I've always just kind of ended up taking my own geometry and rigging it myself very, very simply. And then I just constrained it to my tracks. My methods, I start very low res, extremely low res. Most rigs, you don't have the option to start low res and then work your way up from the start. So my way is I start low res. I typically model my own stuff. In this stream, we're going to steal a male body from Maya's content library, or asset library, whatever you want to call it, because the divisions on it are amazing. It is very low. But we're going to start low res on this. We're going to block in the movements of, this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that deforming mesh into Synthize. And I'm going to use my roughly animated ROTOANIM in here. And we're going to use it to distance solve the head to the ROTOANIM body. And maybe the chest. This way, man, I'm having some problems talking right now and focusing on this. I'm not a very good multitasker. This is probably going to be one of the sloppier streams because it's not really something I could rehearse beforehand. And it's something I haven't done in a while. It's also a very, very tough thing to do. But let's just toss in a few more trackers. We got our mid-ground basically done. Let's just throw in a couple background points. Done. Just seeing how far down I can go without having to do any adjustments. Okay, knock out a few more mid-ground over here. Just fill in some empty space. Try to help out with some distortion because, yeah, we're going to do some distortion. If there's any questions about ROTOANIM, this is kind of the second if anybody wanted to ask anything. Again, I'm not super amazing at it. But the method that I've kind of come across with, we've had some people at other studios who couldn't get the job done, so they sent it to us and we've been able to knock some shots out of the park. And we've won a lot of clients. With some of the work that we do at Track. Oh no. Why did I try to track that again? Okay, where's this hand going? Okay, let's just get some points up here. Get some on the corners. Here's some depth. Okay. What do I have? Am I done? Oh, here's a big empty space here. Gonna have to track his head really quick too. I'm not looking forward to the head track. Head tracks are never fun. Head solves are never fun. Sometimes they are. Tracking the Rock's head is fun. When I was doing Baywatch and Rampage, we had to do a lot of head tracks for the Rock. And he's so easy to get a head solve for. His skin is like so textured. We always would do a crazy high pass and you get like every pore on the Rock's face. Ah, come on, get out of here. Okay. Ren, laugh. Okay, is there anything in this dark corner over here? Let's go to filtering. Nope, levels, expose up a little bit. And I'm also gonna get a little bit of noise reduction in here. See something in this darkness, just put something back here. Okay, let's reset. I think I'm good. So I'm going to solve this now. Let's go solver. Solver, what was I going to do? Distortion, and I'm also going to get some quartic. Solve error, 0.3, cool. If you're wondering what these red circles are, these are tracker radars. The larger the circle, the higher the error. Now this tracker looks like it has a high error, but, well, our solve is so good, it's 0.3. The size of these tracker radars are relative to the solve error. So this isn't too bad, but also, I have rolling shutter on my camera right now. I could check off rolling shutter and make this amazing, but nah, we don't need it. If you're deforming stuff, you typically don't need to worry about perfect shutter and whatever, because you have the freedom to warp things. Okay, so now that I've done the camera, let's do a very fast orientation. So I'm going to go to lens. I don't know if these walls and pillars are perfectly flat to each other. I can't remember. So we're just going to guess this real quick. I'm going to highlight some things that I assume are on the same plane. I assume that that pillar is on the same plane as this wall over here. Let's give those a color, and I'm going to look at this before I do lines. I don't know, let's go blue. Why not? Yeah, those look pretty flat. That looks pretty flat. So I'm going to go to lens. And let's see. I can't really... I don't think I can draw a line across here. Oh, I guess I could. Those bricks are pretty level to each other. I kind of thought there was going to be some sloppy work here. Yeah, let's go with it. So on X... get our parallel lines. I need a pop filter. I'm sorry, I keep blowing into the mic. Might have to. I gotta move that off to the side. If you ever lose your frame, because I just scrubbed by accident and I lost it, you can right click and it'll snap you back. Or you have your at frame button right here for lines and it'll bring you back to where you drew your lines. Now that I have this, let's put more X lines. Oh boy, I don't like this. See the brick here, is it this one? Do I gotta count those bricks? 3, 3, 3, 2. 3, 3, 3, 2. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, let's get some Z. The Z lines are kind of short, and the Z lines are also kind of crooked in the case of the shot, but put many Z lines if you can, because they will average each other out. I should also put something right here. I have a feeling Synthize is not going to like what I'm doing. I think I'm putting a bit too much. And these bricks are kind of crooked, so let's see what it does. I'm going to hit F3 and L, lock to camera. And let's see if this lines up. So, align. Thank you. Okay. Looks golden. Looks magical. Actually, that looks really good. Kind of proud of me. Okay, yeah, so that's looking nice. Normally what I would do is I would come to 3D, I would make an earthling here, scale him up to something like 170. I can't remember how tall my nephew is. This is my nephew. Oh wow, the scale is like not super bad by default. No, it's pretty... Scene's pretty big. Anyway, normally what I do is I would make a scale man in Synthize with an earthling. But if I have to, my ideal way to go is that I like to use the model that I'm actually using for the ROTOANIM as much as I can, because I really want to nail the scale and have it match amongst my models, because back and forthing with ROTOANIM is a huge pain in the ass. So I'm going to switch over to Maya. Now, we are over in Maya. We're going to quickly go to Windows, General, and where is it? Asset Editor. What's kind of funny is I actually didn't know... Oh wait, Asset... Nope, not that. General Content Browser. I actually never really used this. I didn't realize Maya had all this. Somebody at Track VFX that works for us pointed this out. And then I took a look at the topology for this character male and human body or character male. Let's go human body. The topology for this, oh, this one's a little bit higher than the other one. The topology is really clean to use this for ROTOANIM. But this is a little bit higher res than I was hoping for. I might actually use this, I don't know. Let's bring in the other model. So character male. Character male has some manhood here, but that's okay. The model here, look at how low res this is. This is great because if we have to make some very fine adjustments anywhere, we can make some very general deformations because, you know, the quads are relatively big. The hands, if we look over here, oh, my soft select is so massive. So that the fingers here, you can see how this is how I would model a hand. They're very boxy. So what's nice about this is there's no points to adjust when you have to get the curvature of this. So let's say I placed a cluster on this point here, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using clusters. So I have a cluster right here. Oh, let's turn on wireframe on shaded. Also, let me double my line width just for stream reasons. There we go. I hope the lines are a little bit nicer to see now. Also, anti-aliasing. So, if I have a cluster for something like this, what's great about this low resolution is I don't have to do as much painting. So if I went and smooth this, if I go smooth, I'm going to do linear. Important to smooth with linear, push strength 1 when you're doing match move. So now you can see that the fingers, yeah, they're a little chunky, but they won't look like that when we actually do this. Now you can see we've got this very nice interpolated points in between the original points that we did. So when we start doing some fine adjustments on areas, it's always awesome to start with the low res, so you don't have to paint or do much stuff to heavy geometry. And yeah. So, this model, I'm going to take this model. So let me zero this out. Also, sorry about the pacing of the stream. If it's boring, I am sorry. ROTOANIM is not an easy thing to teach. Okay. So just exporting this boy. Alright, back to Synthesize. So I'm going to delete this Earthling. I don't really want to scale with him. And now let's go to 3D. I'm just going to go import here. You could go up to file, like import stuff there, but whatever. I like to, for some reason, import Magic Wand. Okay. Oh, his feet look so funny. Is that how his feet look? Whoa, those are Minecraft toes. Wow, okay. Anyway. So now that we have this dude here, I'm going to go whole. Whoops. I don't want to move the mesh along with it. So right click, whole effects mesh is off. So I can't see his feet touching the ground. And I do kind of have this over here. If I want to find out where the ground is, here's the thing. I know that this alley is on an incline. I do not believe that the floor here is at the same depth as the floor over here. But if you have the opportunity, please go ahead and give yourself a point in an area like this. I'm actually going to... I'm not going to solve at this point because I'm lazy. What I'm going to do is select both of these and hit W for 0 weight. So they've both given me a point. And these points, I might color so I can remember what they are. Color them whatever you want. And we can say that that is at most the highest our floor is. So I'm going to go 3D, hole. Oh, I didn't see that message. Sorry. How late am I? 2 minutes. Render house. You do manual deformations for the muscles and the rest of the body to match the footage character? Yep. Yes, I do. There's not too much automated ways to do this stuff. Most people you're going to find are manually moving their rigs, manually tucking in corners and contours. You can solve as much as you can. Like, I'm going to solve his head. I'm probably going to solve his shoulders. His hand, I don't know if I'm going to do his hand. We'll see. I can solve his hand. I might solve his hand. We'll see. I probably won't. Don't listen to me. Okay. So, with synthesize, Ren or the digidouble is the option, right? Oh man, that'd be great if they could just digidouble this stuff. Sometimes, honestly, it's so much more worth it to digidouble. Because there's times where they have like clothing and they want to put like CG blood on this clothing and stuff. And we have to spend all this time match moving the clothing. When they probably should just put a CG shirt or something. Clothing's kind of hard to make look real, I'll admit. Sometimes it can come out looking awful. It feels kind of right. Like photogrammetry. Oh, make a digidouble of him like photogrammetry. Could have, yeah. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Ooh, there's his standing height. Yeah, if you can get a digidouble of an actor, definitely the best way to go. I'm gonna do some sculpting in Maya when I get to it. Sorry if you hear the siren. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave this as my scale. It's not right. Now, I know this ground is on an incline. I'm gonna treat it as such. Oh my god, that siren. I was gonna see if I can get away with leaving the height, like, whatever, but yeah, I gotta get his shoulders here. Gotta get his waist down where his waist should be. Yeah, it's better. What about Make Human? Make Human's good. Make Human, you know, if you got your reference images, yeah, use it. That's a good one. I never use Make Human just because I never get images of people, and I'd rather, I don't want to guesswork. I don't want to do guesswork with Make Human. I'd rather just take my model and I'll sculpt it, like in Maya, I'll sculpt it to him, like with more flexible tools, rather than sliders and knobs. But Make Human's awesome. So, render, my Wi-Fi sucks, it's buffering sometimes. Oh no. Walnut, you could easily approximate your actor with Make Human. Oh yeah, absolutely. Render house. At Walnut, you watched Joshua breakdown? Walnut, okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's yeah, definitely Make Human. You can make really good approximated models, but assuming you have good reference images that you can work with, but Yeah, in Maya, I'd rather just sculpt and actually model to a track and stuff, where I have all my calculated points. Okay, so I got my scale. I'm going to move on to the head, try to solve that real fast. And then once I solve the head, we're going to go over to Maya, and we're going to probably do a really cheap, crappy rig, and you'll see how bad I am at rigging. But hey, it works. Okay, so head. I'm going to hide the mesh, and we're going to go shot. Oh, by the way, you'll notice I didn't refine our camera yet. We're going to later, because I'm going to refine the head and the camera together. I could do the camera right now, because I guess I'm pretty convinced on the scale, but I'm scared that I'm going to want to rescale this later. Or I'm going to find out that there's a focal length or a camera path issue once I get the head in. Because sometimes if you over smooth or under smooth a camera, it's going to affect your object's track in space, because if your camera moves, your object is going to move with it. And we cannot afford to make screw-ups on a ROTOANIM shot, because it's a lot of, you can't just backtrack very easily on a shot like this. Okay, so we're under no, we're not. Okay, so we're under a new object now. Oh, I didn't get to drink my tea yet. I forgot I had tea. 1 second. Okay. So, head track. This isn't very complicated, so this should be kind of fast. I am going to have to do a little sculpted head for me to solve. So let's get started. I'm going to track my symmetrical points first. Tracking points for a head, if you can, try to keep a symmetry. You'll see why once I start to line up a head to this guy. Oh, thank Lord, he did not move his lips. We don't even need a perfect solve for this. A lot of people say, like, all these things are moving on his face. Why would you track that? And, well, everything on a head is moving no matter where you track. The only thing that doesn't move is maybe the corners of the corners of your eyes, like mostly the inside corners, and your teeth. Your nose kind of has that little bit underneath, but even it's kind of malleable and moves around. Ah! Get out of here. Oh no. Okay. Again, not spending too much time on that. We're not going to do a lot of points on this. Man, I hope I didn't shout in everybody's ears, because I kind of shouted in my own ear. Oh, that point's kind of ugly. Let's do a little correction on it. So I'm gonna go unlock it, and I'm gonna start at the last frame if my tracker direction is going left, and I'm gonna turn on offset and then E for editable offset. Okay, it's okay. It's a little better. It's a little better. We're gonna go with it. And now the corner of the glasses look kind of annoying, because I don't exactly see the corner very easily here. But remember to turn off editable offset. Yeah, this is kind of hard to make out. Okay, that's as much work as I'm gonna put into that. Let me backtrack this one. I did a bad job on that. Okay, very crude. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother tracking the other ear because it doesn't last long enough, and I don't really want a point to be solving there only to lose its influence and cause a pop in the head. I'd rather just keep it a smooth head based off of the trackers that I have. But let's try to get one more point. Let's get a couple more points like this. Okay, got that. And let's see. Oh, I regret tracking this point. Good, another siren. Oh man, so many people dying around the time of my stream. It's so selfish. Who just kind of says one day that, oh, Calvin's streaming some ROTOANIM. Let me just have a heart attack. Sorry to those people who had a heart attack. Okay, let's see what a head solve does with this. So first off, I need a head. And I want one that's clean and centered. So I'm gonna take this weird looking piece of work. I really don't like this head, actually. I really don't like this head. Do I want to use this? No, I don't. Let me just get a head that I want to use. Actually, I should include this head in the files of that Gumroad thing, I think. Okay, so 3D, import, magic wand, and let me grab this. And do I want to strip normals? Nah, we're good. Okay, so I got my head solved down here. I'm gonna take the object. There we go. And I'm gonna hide our boy here. Okay, this head, the color is kind of hard to see. Let's make it kind of a... sure, I like that. Alright, F3. Now over here, I'm gonna line it up. I'm gonna use pinning. Gonna go into wireframe. Also, I don't like the lit wireframe. Gonna go right click view, lit wireframe off. Hey, there we go. And also, we can see the ear through the cheek. So right click, view, occluded wireframe. And let's pin. So I'm gonna use this frame because I see his ears. We kind of see everything. Create pins. Okay, and now you can see how different these heads are. Okay, so with this, I'm going to do a very crude sculpt. I am going to come to camera and perspective. And I'm going to go orbit in my perspective view. Turn on smudge relax. Render house. Can we lock the mesh points? The mesh points. Lock the mesh points. What does that mean? Lock what points? Yeah, what points? The trackers, or are we talking about the vertices? So that when we are adjusting others, it won't affect the rest of the mesh. Are you talking about if, like, we were sculpting one area, you don't want it to mess with the other part of the head? I don't think you can. I don't think you have much control of. Oh yeah, while you're refreezing, let me go brush surface through, and I'm gonna do a very soft sculpt on his head here, and let's bring up his chin, bring his cheeks out a little bit. And his eyes. This is all sculpting to the back of the head mesh as well, which is unfortunate in synth eyes. So I'm careful not to like go at this angle and sculpt the ear as well. So I'm gonna go for this angle where I don't affect that. And his nose, is his nose cool? Maybe. Rindehouse. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh, okay. Nice. I answered it accidentally, I think. Okay, so now let's take his ears. This is going to be the ugliest part of the sculpt, I think. Ears are tough. I'm really not sculpting the ears to be accurate. I'm sculpting them just to have something to project onto. I might as well sculpt this ear too. Okay, I did a really ugly job there, but whatever. Alright, so we'll pretend that this is perfect. Yes, we'll pretend. Let's sculpt the mouth a little bit, sorry. Just so you guys know, I also don't need to sculpt this. I'm just doing this because I later used this crude mesh in Maya to line up my actual rig body. So you don't have to do this, really. Okay, so we're gonna work with this. So now let's project. I should just get a point back there just to lock down this ear when I hit solve. What frame am I on? 1016. Okay, let's remember that frame. This is going to be a very fast point because it's not going to last very long. Okay. What did I say? 1016? Was that it? I don't know. Oh yeah, 1016. Okay, so I'm gonna take this point, and let's take that's not on the bridge of his nose, that's on his glasses. I'm gonna project that, but we're gonna elevate it a little bit. I kinda don't trust points like this at an angle, but whatever. Take his lips, project everything, and the little point on his glasses, I'm gonna go back to my back to my camera in perspective because I want to look at it on a side view. So I'm gonna pull this away from the head a little bit. I should have actually tucked his nose in a bit. I know my nephew's nose goes in a little bit. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even gonna move that point. I'm just gonna tuck in his nose a bit because I know he does not have that big a nose. Okay, that was a weird cheat, but whatever. Now that I have that, let's go solver. constrain on, and I don't want to solve the camera. Let's go to camera 1. Disable it. Actually, maybe we can avoid some work. I'm going to smooth the camera with a frequency of 10. And I'm going to select a couple points on some of these major planes. And we're going to set the seed so that they have their positions where they are currently at and set them to lock. And now when I have constraint on, it's going to use the constraints for my camera and my now smoothed camera path. And on top of all that, it's going to listen to the constraints on the head. So it's hopefully going to knock out a whole bunch of birds at one time, and then we'll see if the head's doing anything weird in space. If it is, then I'll have to adjust some things, but we might just nail it. Okay, so new synth eyes, don't fail me. Oh no. Okay. Random algorithm stuff. Great. Okay. So let's start off with picking our beginning and end frames. I like the actually, let's start with the ears in view. Let's keep all the points in view. And go. Oh no, it's not gonna work. I'm doing too much right now. Except I'm not good with the new solver stuff, so I'm trying anything I can to avoid going into the more settings because I don't understand it very well. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go and disable the head. Come to camera. Oh no, the camera. Oh, was it the camera that messed up? Interesting. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so our camera is now solved, and wait, why is that not? Oh no, did I accidentally apply my smoother to my object? That's embarrassing. So I'll hit that with a smooth. Now I'll come over here. Get that loaded in. Oh, but it had something before. Oh, but I got the old rough path. Oops. Okay, so we redid that. Constraint on. Independent. I also checked off independent. Oops. I'm an idiot. Okay, so solve. Ah, what now? There we go. Refine. Also wasn't in refine. Okay, camera. Disable. Focal length. Known. Also, I should go in and set my... Oh, I can't. I don't want to set the preset because it's going to try to set both values and mess with my pixel aspect. Oh, I don't really need it. I'm pretty happy with the free move. Okay, so now we disable the camera, locked our path, hit known, distortion. Let's not calculate that. Go to object and re-enable it. Go. There. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so walnut, 18.96 millimeters. Is that for UHD or 4K? Either way, I'm gonna take it because it's close. So 18.96. Do you know if that's for UHD or 4K? What's kind of annoying is I think on VFX CamDB, there's only one film back listed on the site. But when you change from UHD to 4K on the Blackmagic camera, it crops the width. UHD is 25.24. Hey, what did I shoot this at again? I can't remember what I shot this at. I don't remember what I shot this at. Did I shoot it at Did I shoot it at 4096 or 3840? Oh, this is UHD. We're fine. Oh wait, no, UHD 25 point. No, we gotta change it. Now that I remembered what I shot this at. Thank you for getting me those values. Walnut and 24. Nice. 12 mil. I believe that because, oh. Whoa, that's interesting. I believe that 12 mil because we got a pretty extreme distortion going on here. The distortion will look even more extreme, but I've cropped off the top and bottom, so we would have gotten an even bigger bend at the top. I did upscale it. I upscaled this to 4096 by, I can't remember what. But yeah, I upscaled it, so it's not actually 4096, it's UHD. Okay, so the head here, what is it doing in space? I'm kind of wondering, now, I'm wondering, was his... I could have sworn... Where did I place his body double now? So I'm going to go... Hierarchy view. I feel like his head is somewhere in this wall. I really want to... Oh, wait. The body guy is ahead of him, too. So how does he feel here, like, right on the edge of the wall? Oh, that feels better. Yeah, that's good. We're going to scale the head back. So I'm going to go scale, hole on the object, and move. Oh, but you see it's only moving the points. Jamal, hello. Good to see you. So we're going to scale this head back, but it's only moving the points. So right click, Hole Effects Meshes. Push this back to, wow, that's a massive head. I'm definitely going to do some sculpt work on this body and just make it work for what we're doing. That's kind of the beauty too of if they don't give you a body rig, you can do your best scale that you can, and then you can sculpt your dude. Because this guy is thinner than my nephew. Okay, so what am I doing now? Let's smooth the depth of the head. So I'm going to go solver, filtering, smooth. I smoothed the depth, but I am concerned I might have smoothed it a bit much, but I'm kind of okay with that. Because the worst thing with ROTOANIM is when you have objects that are sliding separate from one another, and you see the geo in between, like doing this weird kink, like the geo will roll over itself. So I'm okay over smoothing this if that's what I did, which I don't think I did, honestly. So axis locked. For object, we're going to turn on distance. We're going to turn the weighting up to 90. Get. And now that I've done that, I'm going to switch my head to refine. And I did turn this on for all frames, right? Yep, all frames. Actually, let's make the weighting 120. I think that's the highest you can go. Yep. I already hit get, but whatever. So go. Okay, did my solve change? Yes, it did. It adjusted. Okay, so this guy, it kind of makes me believe that man, it's actually not too bad. I'm just kind of fooling myself, I guess. This model does not have broad shoulders. No, but his waist is too high. It kind of tells me that his waist should be like way down here. There's the head scale. Turn it a bit. And I'm keeping him inside that wall here. Thank you. So I'm keeping. I know that's wrong. Because look at the floor here. That floor is not that. Man, is it going up a step? There's no way it's going up a step. There's no way. I'm like 90% certain. This thing is like right outside my apartment. I can actually look out my living room window right now and look down like 20 floors and see this, and to tell if this step is elevated compared to this. I'm so certain it's not. Hey, one sec. I'm gonna go look out my window. I'll be right back in like 1 moment. Okay, so I just took a look at it. Okay, so this ground over here, this step is elevated up like a foot compared to what he's standing on over here. So this here, we're not gonna, oh yeah, look at that, it's like a foot. Yeah, so we're not gonna use that as reference for the ground. I kind of thought it'd be close enough to reference, but yeah, we can't use that. So this is our new ground. Also, it's our new scale. That's what we're gonna go with. So now that we have that, I didn't want to scale this. How different is the scale? Yeah, rather than scale this guy, let's scale our scene. Gonna line up the head. And let's scale the scene, hopefully from the object, until we get a body that's more reasonable. Okay. And did we keep him within the wall? We're gonna move him back a little bit. Okay, that feels a lot better. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so the head is smooth, that's refined. The cameras are fine, the camera's smooth. So at this point, I think I'm going to do the crude rig for the body now. Because I think I'm gonna do some major posing, because I want to reference that in Synthesize for the depth of these solves. Well, sorry, Kelvin, I just noticed that with the UHD backplate, I factored in my adapter. It should be, oh my goodness. So that's why 12 is the thing. That's why 12 was so high. I just kind of assumed it was because I cropped off my plate that it would look that high. But if that's it, let's do that. And you use millimeters. Yeah, it's millimeters, right? 17.78. Yeah, millimeters. Okay, we're back to 8. 8.4. Kind of thought that'd be a more extreme change, but that's cool. That works out great. Okay. I need to make sure that my preset also is... I need to make another preset for the future. for when I shoot UHD or HD. Or 4K, sorry. UHD or 4K. Okay, what was I doing now? Oh, yes. Okay, Maya time. Okay, so this is where you guys see how stupid I am with a rig. I am going to have to refresh myself a little bit. I also got to give a heads up. I am going to be using... What? Oh, NG Skin Tools. If you don't know what NG Skin Tools is, give it a look. Hold on. It has a free version, and with the free version, you can do exactly what I'm doing up here. So this is extremely easy. Again, the free version it's great. The things that you can't do with the free version is like mirroring, like from one side to the other and stuff, but it's fine. But this makes painting weights way, way easier in Maya. Yeah. Do not use Maya's paint tools. Maya's own artisan paint tool sucks. Okay. But yeah, it's very easy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, oh crap. No, we're fine. We're fine. Just trying to remember in my head how I want to start this. It's been a while since I've done this type of thing. So it automatically distributes it, the paint influence. So yeah, so here's what's nice about it. Let me do a really crude rig right now. So I'm gonna go, actually let's turn on project to center. Now create, wait, skeleton, create joints. So I'm gonna make a joint going up his leg. Enter, and let's go shading, X-ray joints. Also, let's change the background for now, I guess. So the joints that I have running up his body. Great penis, by the way. Yeah, I didn't know that Maya's like male reference human had that. It's kind of weird because if you go up to Windows, General, Content Browser, human body, which is like has no anatomically correct details, is high res. I wish this wasn't as high res because I would love to have used this instead. Actually, you know what? How well is Maya's reduce tool look? I don't like Maya's reduce tool. Preserve quads 1, please reduce, please. That didn't do a very good job. Yeah, I'm not gonna use that. Yeah, I don't know. I wish that the other model had this division level because this is great. You will need to crease some things to keep certain shapes. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. And that's a lot of work. But yeah, so I'm going to take this. Oh yeah, render house. Max or Houdini. Oh, I didn't read that big message. One sec. Reficule? I'm an animator in Maya and need to get into VFX. I wish I could just stick to Maya. But my dilemma is Houdini is far superior for VFX to a point it's impractical to use Maya for it. Or it's just a matter of taste and style. Wait, one sec. I gotta reread that. The grammar got me a bit. You're an animator in Maya, and you need to get into VFX. I wish I could just stick to Maya, but my dilemma is Houdini as far as... Yeah, if you're an animator or a modeler, stick to Maya. Maya is kind of like the best for animation and rigging and stuff. Modeling in other software is pretty comparable to Maya, but the modeling in Maya is pretty great. So if you're modeling, creating characters, doing hair and all that stuff, Maya is pretty great. Houdini is doing a lot of great hair and cloth sim, character effects, explosions and stuff. Modeling in it isn't super fun. But of course, if you get good enough in modeling in Houdini, you can start to do some procedural stuff, which is really cool. procedural set pieces. But more often than not, I don't think you're doing that procedurally. If you're doing a hero asset, you have your design, you have your plan, and you're gonna model that rather than spend and waste time making it procedural when you already know what the final is. And you know, I don't know exactly. I mean, you can do a lot with Maya and Bifrost, and there's a lot of plugins that are really good for Maya that let you do some nifty stuff that some people would rather do in Houdini. I don't know, it depends. It's not an easy answer. So I wish I read that and then saw your message. Great penis, by the way, right after that. Let me just catch up here real quick on a couple of messages. So, Rick Fastly, if you want to get into effects, might as well go for Houdini. Max is capable, but Max is kind of not as popular. Yeah, Max is, I'm not a fan of Max's UI and just how you work in it. I've used it before. I wasn't super into that program. Also, I like Maya history for match moves, so that's why I like Maya a lot. And Fume Effects and Phoenix or whatever all that stuff for Max is, is cool. Max is pretty cool. Render House, hey, Rick Fastly, what's up? Render House, what about? Oh wow. Midgard, we've all been doing all of our modeling and anim in Maya, then exporting to Houdini for effects and rendering. Yeah. We equals Muse Effects. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Midgard, I recognize your, I recognize your profile picture from the Discord the other day. Good. Just taking a short break before going back to doing homework. I assume that's homework. Right now is good. Okay, so I wanted to say real quick, so the paint tools here. If you, oh, this is me getting back. I think it was Render House who I was talking to about the NG skinning tools. If I go skin, bind skin. Oh, what I do? Oh, I don't want interactive bind. Sorry. Oh no. Okay, let's Did it put it on a layer? Okay, whatever happened there, that was weird. Alright. Refikil, how much time will it take me to grasp the basics of Houdini? Oh, okay, I think it might. This is personally me. How much time will it take you to grasp the basics of Houdini? It depends on what you call basics. Because I've seen some teachers have different ideas of what is basic in Houdini. Some teachers that I've had jumped us straight into so much procedural heavy stuff when I might consider the basics of Houdini is personally, I think that you should cruise around the shelf presets, which are fantastic for you to break down and see what they're doing. Go and adjust the parameters and options and see what they do. I'd personally call basics as learning some of those and then looking through the scripts, poking around, experimenting. And then once you have an idea, take and place your own pyro solver nodes, make your own stuff and try to recreate something so you have an understanding of what each of those nodes do. Because to me, if you're going to get out of basic, maybe you have an explosion, poof, there's a preset for it. Understand how it works, maybe recreate it. Hey, cool. But for me, you're getting out of basics once you learn how to shape and sculpt your explosion. Once you're much better at adjusting the fuel and all that stuff. I don't know. I've had a couple teachers for it, and their teaching style was very different, so my opinion on it is not very refined. I'm going to take this and go to skin, bind skin. I got to get to this. So the painting, by the way, that probably wasn't a very good answer. I'm not a Houdini guy. I've been a match mover for years, and I've been trying to keep up on other VFX. So I'm not a good person to ask on that, honestly. Midgard, by no means. Maya's got some great stuff going on. I don't know it very well, to be honest. I'm mostly layout and lighting TD, so I don't get into VFX stuff at all that much. Yeah, is Maya useless for VFX? No, Maya is pretty good for VFX. Maya is really good for VFX. You can do some great environment work, great forest, trees, simulation. Obviously, you could do some pretty good smoke and stuff. Bifrost is getting pretty good. It's just slow. You can do some cool granular stuff in here now. Yeah, anyway, let me do this paint weight thing real quick. So, render house, I think it was you I was talking to. So, the weight painting in Maya, I'm not the best at painting weights in Maya, but if you shift right click, go to paint skin weights tool, and so here you got your stuff, right? The only thing with this is that really annoys me is if you try to paint the influence for a joint, like let's say I paint here. So I've painted full influence on that joint, but if I go up here, I've lost some influence. If I wanted to smooth this out, then I come back up. It doesn't normalize very well. See, I have weird results here now at the bottom. This stuff fills in a lot of weird gaps in a strange way. And it's not super predictable. But if you use NG skinning tools, so now that I've bound the skin here, I can launch NG skinning tools. Where is it? Oh, there's an update for it. I haven't used it in so long. So now that I have this, with the mesh selected, I can go initialize skinning layers. And now I have my bones and stuff over here. I have to come over to paint down and click paint. And now you can see that the color coding for everything is up front and it's much cleaner to look at. So if I select a bone here, I can do whatever painting I gotta do. I can smooth it out, but when I paint and smooth, the influence from these other joints are actually being painted and normalized as well with this stuff. So if I switch over to other things, I get much cleaner results in a much more predictable manner. Man, I can't speak. I've never really tried to teach this yet, really. So it's a little bit crude, but NG skinning tool is just much easier. So let me catch up on stuff. Because now that I just showed that really basically, I am going to make my quick skeleton for a hand now, but let me just read the messages really fast. So the basics for you is when I grasp how to remake those presets by myself. Personally, yes, because the shelves in Houdini is as basic as you could possibly go. Because what's the most basic thing you can do in effects software? Well, poof of smoke. It doesn't get much more basic than making a poof of smoke. So you might as well see the node structure, pick apart how it does, and maybe try to remake it yourself. And see what the nodes are, where they are, and have the flexibility to maybe insert some force field here or something in there. Or tweak a little number so that the fuel isn't as intense, so the temperature isn't as high, so that the smoke doesn't billow up as fast. So to me, that would be basic. That's just my idea of basic. Jamal, I started using Houdini for 6 months. You are really truly right about the shelf tool. There is no tutorial dedicated for that, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of people, I don't like the tutorials very well for it either. Reficule. Do I need to know any specific programming language for Houdini? That would be great. What is it, Vex? Is Houdini Vex? I can't answer that very well. But learning expressions, Vex scripting or something, I don't remember. I could be wrong. Would excel you in Houdini. Midgard, the basics of is hard to define. We have 4 Houdini artists who all know their own niches very well, but they don't have a whole lot of overlap in knowledge. Yes, exactly. Houdini's own language is Vex. Oh yeah, which you can do a lot with. It also uses Python extensively. That's where I live when I'm building pipeline, but you can get by without much coding skill at all. Yeah. A lot of people do overhype expressions and stuff and all that. I once had a teacher for Maya, and he's a really talented dude. He's been using Maya since it was first, what is it called? What was Maya before it was Maya? Not Alias or something, was it? I don't know. He wanted to teach us how to... Oh, go away, fruit fly. He wanted to teach us how to make snow fall in Maya, except he didn't. Except what you would expect is make a plane, make particles drop, add a turbulent field. Done. That's your class. Maybe done in like 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. But what he did was, instead of teaching us that, he jumped straight into using expressions and scripting on how to make a particle fall in a line, how to give it random values, just all in expression, how to make it wiggle and stuff. Yeah, that was tough. Refugio, already I have a goal for this project. Make poof of smoke into a into a fart. Do it and then post it somewhere. I want to see it. Refugio, thank you for all the help. Jamal, yes, Vex is full of weird functions. Renderhouse, while making simulations like clothing, hair, do we use coding there to make it physically dynamic, movable like real environment? No, I wouldn't use coding and stuff for that. That stuff you're just gonna want to use like expressions and dampening, just fields, clumping, all stuff you could do with sliders. I don't think anybody would do that with like any specific coding or expressions. You can, but Houdini's procedural node environment is essentially visual programming. You can do all that without having to write a line of code yourself, except Houdini's actually written it all behind the scenes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this rig here. Get rid of that, and let me actually build something really stupid for this guy. So, here we go. First off, let me go shading X-ray. I don't really need to. I'm also gonna shift right click, go in, I'm gonna assign a use background shader. There we go, just very, very clean to look at. Anti-aliasing, and let's see, my projected center is on. So when I say crude, I mean very, very crude. So I'm gonna go create. Nope, I'm gonna go skeleton, create joints. And let's make, I'm gonna hold X so I'm snapping to the grid. I'm only gonna make like 2 spines. For match move, you really don't need a lot. And I'm gonna make a clavicle. And let's go down to the elbow, down to the wrist. And let's go into this view. And I'm not good at hands. So it's basically, write a bunch of notes, man. I'm just looking at that real quick. Okay, I just had to take a peek. Okay, so now that I have a hand, okay, just trying to remember, how do I make hands? I've made a couple hand rigs a couple times, but I always forget it. So my wrist, I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm going to. By the way, we don't need to worry about proper orientation for these joints. If you're doing a proper rig, obviously you want to look at the rotation orders. You want to get your proper Z, X, Y, X, Y, Z, or whatever, because gimbal locking stuff. For match move, we could be crude. No one's using this rig, it's just you. Sometimes you can screw yourself if you get the rotation orders wrong. Sometimes it's kind of rare for me though. But we're just gonna see what we can do. Okay, so what do I do again? If I remember correctly, I'm gonna go, wait. Let me get some hand anatomy. Okay. Sometimes I use the rigging bones in Maya to model bend hard surfaces. Yeah, I do that sometimes too, because I'm lazy to use bend deformers, because the twist and other sliders, if you do like a bend and you want like a taper twist and you gotta add another deformer or something. I use joints too sometimes for that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to branch out way out here. I don't think I should have put that far out, hey? Yeah, I put a little far out. Let's bring it in a little bit. And is that the knuckle? Yeah, it is. And we're going to go here. Here. And right at the tip. And now I'm going to hit up on my arrow keys to go up the joint hierarchy. And do it again. Oh, I don't like this area that much. You gotta add 3 joints on fingers. 1, 2, 3. I got 3. Oh wait, were you responding to someone else? Sometimes I use, oh, right now, easy with the bones. Yeah, you can delete them afterwards. You gotta use, oh yeah. Yeah, because my joint count when I was looking that image up was actually, wrong way. Was actually just to see whereabouts those long bones start, somewhere over here. Actually, these are too high up. I gotta move them. Yeah, let's do that right now. I'm gonna start there, and I'll move the other ones in a second. Once again, just in case somebody jumped in and sees how bad this is, I'm not a good rigger. I can do basic stuff to help me get on my way for deforming for match move, and that's all I'm doing. There's some really cool projects I really wish I can share, but I can't because they're not out yet. But I did some really cool complex stuff here. Oh, this is kind of bad, but... Oh, wait, no, my first one was the branch. And then, okay, never mind. I'm probably going to have to fix the thumb rotation. Okay, let's move these guys. D. Is there such thing as shrink wrapping a hard surface to a curve to bend it? To a curve? Do you know how to shrink wrap in Maya? Shrink wrapping in Maya. Let me quickly make a plane. And I'm gonna go vertex. No, let's select all of it. Then go transform component. Move this up. And I'm gonna turn random up. And let's go shading. Turn that X-ray off. I'm gonna hit it with a smooth. Okay, in Maya, there's a couple ways you can do a shrink wrap. Here's the way that I typically use, and then I'll show the other way that I actually learned about recently and I haven't done, so we're gonna see if I screw it up. So, one way to shrink wrap, and this works with no matter how your model is shaped. You can select this mesh, which has your attributes as you want it. So like your vertex positions and normals and UVs, and you can transfer that all to this one. So let's take this that you want to transfer to this, and spacebar, mesh, transfer attributes. And here, I just want vertex position and sample space world, and closest along normal, not along point. Closest along normal because I want these points to just fire a line on their normal direction and then project. So transfer. So now we have this. And what's cool about this is if you move this mesh, look at this. You can scale it up. Ooh. So this is fun. Another thing that you can try, which I actually haven't personally tried yet, so we're going to see if it works right now, is I can select this mesh, and I think I make it live, and then I select our new mesh, come over to conform. Now, what's the options? Along normals or close to the point? Oh, okay. Hey, cool. Oh, and I can't. Oh, and you. Whoa. Okay, and you can't move it though. Apparently, yeah, you can't move it then. Conform is just like one project. I like transfer attributes. So yeah, that's 2 ways to do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna delete that, and get back over here. So, I need to make a head. I kind of clicked off my skeleton now, I guess. Can I click in here? Go back to create joints now. Can I click back in there? Okay, I don't know how to click back in there, so I'm just gonna connect my... I'm gonna connect that in a second. So let's go make a base of the neck, somewhere around there. Somewhere up the top, and then up. Oh my goodness. Why do I have fruit flies? I don't even have fruit. Something I also didn't do was... Something I didn't do was kill that damn fly. I didn't add a curvature to the spine. Okay. And why did this appear way back there? Wait, so let's say you have a straight sword. Is there a way to bend it around better than using joints, other than moving vertices? Yeah. If you have a sword, let's make a sword. Oh, I selected another face. That's why it was acting weird. Why am I putting so much detail into this sword? This is gonna be a weird sword, man. What am I even making? This is stupid. Okay. If you're gonna bend stuff, obviously you need divisions. Why did I make it like this? Oh well. You need divisions. Big sword you got there. Please remove that Winnie. It's a sword. Let's bend. Remove that Winnie? Wait, what's a Winnie? Okay, so let's pretend this was like the greatest sword you've ever seen. If you want a more perfect bend that isn't going to do anything weird because of weighting and world space and whatever, you're going to go to deform. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. A lot of stuff I use for match move, a lot of deformers typically up here that I use. Sometimes I've used sculpt, which is weird, or soft modification. You're probably looking for, where is it? Non-linear. Non-linear, this stuff you can use within rigs and stuff, and it really cool stuff. You can do, like, people merge this stuff with cartoony rigs and all that stuff. You want bend. And create. And now with the bend controller, there is a little controller here, and I can move it around, and you'll see what happens when I move it later. So if I hit Control A, you can see that we have input bend. So curvature, see if I drag that, you get a much more mathematically accurate bend. And see if I bend this, and if I take this controller and move it, you can see that it actually has an effect on what it's doing. I'm gonna go turn that curvature back down to 0. Let's move this back. So if I curve it from like this, you can see that we have a low down here, and we have high. So you could just bend the top if you want. It's like we got a snake. I haven't found a use for this in match move yet, but sometimes I do this for modeling. People do this to make tires. because you would make one piece of tire tread and then you would duplicate it to make a string of tire tread and then you would bend it into a tire. But that's all I got for you. Dan, are you going to match the guy's junk too? You know what's funny? We had to do that at Track VFX. For a music video, some rapper's music video. Had a massive erection through his sweatpants, and for some reason we had to match move it. One of my coworkers had to do it. I didn't have the pleasure of deforming that. But yeah, that's happened. Reficule, yeah, this is great. It bends perfect. Nice. Okay, so let's take this guy's head. I'm gonna select, give a little bit of curvature to this. Actually, am I even curving it the right way? Maybe, whatever. I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna select this over here. Parent? Did I parent it to the right one now? No, I did not. This and then this, parent. Okay, very simple, very crude. An animator would probably slap me if they've seen this. Walnut, that is so confusing and amusing. I dread to think what the VFX shot was. Yeah, what was it? I may have to bug somebody about it. Oh, I want to have some tea. Okay. So, let me bind this. Actually, you know what? Let me put the other side. I might as well do the other side of this too. I'm just going to mirror this. I'm going to select this. Let's go skeleton, mirror joints, and they're not named. Do I want to name these? Not really. I'm not going to name any of this. I probably should because I got to paint this stuff. Oh man. Okay, I gotta paint this real quick. Sorry. Or I gotta name this. Let's just do very crude names really fast. Let's go. Spine. I'm gonna let Maya name the spine itself. I don't know. Let's call this one like, I don't know. Let's call it chest. I know it's not like the best name for it, but whatever. Call this one neck. Head. And I'm gonna call this head end. Oh wait. Reficule. So there is no way to create a curve and then let that sword bend based on that curve. Oh, based on that curve, for example, if I want to make some specific twists and bends. Okay. And I could key the shrink wrap thing to animate a Hulk transformation animation. Oh, and could I key the shrink wrap thing to animate Hulk transformation? I wouldn't do that. Here's what I would do. If you want to do a Hulk transformation, let me duplicate this boy. So let's pretend that I am making the best. Oh wait, let's duplicate it again. I don't even know if I would do it as a blend shape. Okay, you could do this as a. There's two ways that I would do this. I don't think I would use a blend shape. Okay, what's the best way for this? In my ideal world, you will have two rigs. When people do face morphing stuff, they keep the topology the same. And by topology being the same, I mean the vertices should have the same vertex numbering. Because if you do something like a blend shape, like you sculpt this guy's head, right? And then you select, oh, let's actually move a few of them. Okay, so we have two shapes here. That's like, you know, your facial expressions or your whole body transformation. You have a whole sculpted Hulk version here. You select your stuff, then select your original thing, and you go to form, blend shape, and now on your main body, you have a blend shape input. And here you have man 2, man 3. You could name these bodies. Whoop. Name this, like, I don't know, maybe muscles, or name this whatever you want. But on the original one, go to blend shape, you have your objects, and now you can animate that, right? To have those adjustments. That's the obvious way, and that's likely what people are going to do. There's ways to animate that and make it more dynamic. I just don't know blend shapes well enough to, but yeah, there's better ways to do that, but that's kind of what I have with a blend shape. Or you could use, wait, can I delete this? Nope, I don't want to delete that like that. Delete that. There was another way. Whoops. Duplicate. And if you move stuff, you could take this and your mesh, come to mesh, transfer attributes. And again, you have your whole, if you have your rigged guy doing Hulk stuff, and then you have a rigged version of your Hulk guy doing the same animation, you would select them both. Really, you're not going to show your rigged muscle guy. You're going to show your main guy body. And then you can go, I think, component, local, wait, component? Is that going to work? Oh, okay, there we go. I switched to component for the move, so instead of projecting this like my shrink wrap earlier, it's now taking my whole like muscle guy and like, hey, the transformation's kind of happening. Now, can I envelope? Maybe you can't animate. No, you can't animate. No, do with a blend shape. You don't have your influence thing for the other one. Yeah, do with a blend shape. You're fine. I hope that was enough. I hope that answered. But one more question before I name these joints, because I'm dreading naming the joints. But back to the sword thing. I'm gonna make a cylinder this time. I spent too much time making that sword. Cylinder, height, divisions, cool. Spacebar. Let's go. Curve tools. I'm gonna use EP curve. I like EP curves. And let's turn on projected center. Okay, so I actually don't know if this is a thing. So I'm gonna select our curve, then our mesh, and I think deform wire. Oh, wire is for something else, I believe. There's probably a way to do this. I don't know. Parent it maybe if that works. Parenting won't do anything because parenting's not gonna have the points follow. Okay, so I'm gonna do something dumb here. If I take a cylinder, delete, just so I can see, I'm also going to combine. Okay, so what, this, and was it like, extrude or something? No. Curves. I know there's a way to bend geometry. I'm just trying something really fast. Extrude over... Oh, wait. Extrude over a curve, but we won't be able to do it for an existing sword. Yeah, but I'm gonna try something. If I can remember how to... If I can remember how to... How do you extrude over a curve again? Surfaces. Nope. Shift click Control E. Shift click Control. Oh, Shift. Wait. Shift click Control E. Shift O. That's not doing anything. I could have sworn also, is it partially because my normals are the wrong way around too? Style 2, let's go reset. That's a CV curve. Yeah, I think it's a... Which curve did I use? I used the EP curve, but that shouldn't matter. Oh, what? That's not what I was expecting. Except this might be good. Okay, the point that I was going to... What I was gonna do was make just the thing of geometry with a volume to a curve, because once you extrude it and then you can wire deform that object, then you can wrap deform your geometry to your sword, and that should technically keep the same volumetric math that a bend deformer would use, except giving you the control of a wire. But I can't remember how to extrude on a path. It's been maybe 8 years since I've done that. So that was a guess of me trying to do that. So let me get rid of that. We'll worry about that another time maybe, if I can figure it out, because I actually would like to learn that too, because I can use it for rope and stuff in some shots. I had to match move a fishnet recently. So a literal fishnet underwater, and a CG fish was colliding into it, and I needed a match move for every rope, knot in the rope, strings, little seaweed ribbons. And using wire deformers there would have been awesome. I actually kind of used some Blender for that video, or for that shot. Ciao, hello. Good to see you. And Reficule, I will check. Yeah, I'll have to watch a YouTube video on it sometime. Okay, let me name this arm. Let me name the arm. What is this, left arm? Nope, right arm. I'm gonna go R_arm. I know I can name these like proper stuff, but I don't want capitals. So arm, and we'll call the other one just arm 2. Call this R_wrist. And let's go R_index_. Let's go 1. Okay, I'm going to go over here. And actually, if I select the last finger in the hierarchy and then come over to outline or hit F, it's going to bring this up. So now I'm going to name this, I'm going to do this. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we'll go with this one, open up this hierarchy, F, R underscore middle underscore 0, 1. Sorry, this is boring now. Just 3 more times. It's color ring, whatever. 0, 1. 2. 'Nah, that's cool. I love everything about Maya. Nice. That's good. That's good that I'm surprised there's 11 people watching this part. This part's kind of slow. I kind of figured people would drop out. Except UV editing, it feels like punishment. Oh, I like UVs. I think UVs are fun. I used to be a little bit better at it. Now I'm a little slower at it because I've been out of the game. Okay, ring 1, last one, or pinky, and then we'll do the thumb, and then I'm done with the naming. Okay, thumb. Just the thumb. Whoops. Okay. And what R underscore is everywhere. R arm, what's this? Oh, yeah, clavicle. R underscore clavicle, I think that's what it's called. I don't remember. What's this? Oh, that's that, okay. So let's mirror this. So I'm gonna go spacebar, skeleton. I had to name that stuff because I forgot. I'm going to need to see the names for when I'm painting. So now mirror joints, options, YZ plane, and it's going to search for R underscore replaced with L underscore mirror. So now my other side, now you could see we have R clavicle, L clavicle, and all of our other stuff is left. Left, left, left. Cool. Oh, there's stuff here. Midgard. If this is ever something I have to do, this will be the very first thing I script. Oh, do it. Do it, please. Actually, somebody has scripted this. I've seen it on YouTube, but I can't remember where. The Prash 007. You have to select faves to extrude along curve. Faves. Faves? Yeah, what's... Oh, faces. Oh! Yes. Yes, that makes sense. That's it. It should work with Edge 2. I think it does work with Edge 2. I think I remember that now. Yes, it works with edges selected. Oh, man. I'll try that before I jump out of the stream today. because I think I'm going to finish this. We're going to paint the weights. I'm going to block in my major keys, but we're going to start refining and deforming and doing the solve and synthesize and stuff in another stream, I think. Okay, so now let's do some painting on this. So I'm going to select the rig, then select our... what's the guy's name? Oh, it's man. Okay. Gonna select this, then this. Come over, skin, bind skin. Is there any options I want to change? What's my defaults? Let's go reset everything just in case. I think I like heat map usually for some reason. I can't remember why though. I used to know what all these meant. Dual quaternary, whatever, heat map. I don't anymore. Okay, so this looks awful. But you don't deform your arm up this high. Your arm only goes like around here. And then this thing takes over. So, you know, we'll try to fix that a little bit. Usually I spend like a day or a day and a half making really quick, very cheap rigs at track. So over here, we have our fingers. I think if I didn't use heat wrap, the fingers would be much worse than they are now. Yeah, I don't know. And what's this doing? Nice. Looks nice and soft. Cool. We're probably gonna do a really cheap IK thing. Let me see if I remember how to do that. So I'm gonna select that. Then this. Oh no. I don't think I remember how to do IK. I actually don't. Oh, I don't think I'm going to. Wait, how did I used to do this? I don't usually use IK because there was a way that I do this. What did I do before? I can't remember. Are we gonna rig the penis? I could do a blend shape. Is this even a lot? Wait, I was gonna, okay, so I was going to, you know, do the obvious thing, and then I was gonna do a blend shape and make an animatable control. But I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube and Twitch. Let's not risk that. Oh, I left those things down here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So, let's not get banned. Let's stay in the safe yet. Okay. Painting. What was I doing? Was I just... Oh, yeah, I was trying to remember if there was a way that I think, honestly, I just do FK for the arms and stuff because when I do my block-ins, we don't... Once we get to it, you'll see what I mean. Once we get to the fine adjustments of the hands, I stop using the joints for deformations. Because there was a point where I take it over with clusters. So if you were to do like all the fine jitters of a hand with the rig, you want IK, you want your inverse kinematics. Because you don't want to keep rotating the arm and the joint in between. It's going to be a lot of work. But I just remembered why I don't use that. So you'll see. Clusters, yeah. Okay. Now, let me undo that. Also, while my rig is in this state, I'm going to right click it, set preferred angle. So now, if you ever mess things up so much that you, for some reason, can't recover it, you can select your rig, right click, assume angle. Okay, so let's do some painting. I'm going to start with the arm. I put that pivot at a really bad point too, but it doesn't matter because I can do this. And yeah, it's a little sloppy, but it's okay. We're going to be deforming and fixing this stuff later. So now let's take this mesh. I'm going to click on NG Skin Tools. Again, if anybody just dropped in NG Skin Tools, there's a free version that lets you do everything I'm about to do. This is the way to rig. This is the way to do it in Maya. Way better than Maya's default skinning tools. And it's also very easy to install. And if you do get the full version, which I'm convinced you'll be convinced, I think it's like $80 or something. Canadian CDN. Okay, so now that I have NG Skin Tools, I'm going to initialize skinning layers. I don't even know how to use this to its fullest potential. But yeah, see, here's why I needed to name the joints. Because look at this list of stuff. Okay, so right arm. I think I do have to apply Lambert to this. That's the only thing. Use background makes it so it's harder for you to see your paint stuff. There we go. So I'm gonna go to the chest thing. Where's the chest? I'm gonna paint some more influence in here. Actually, I don't want to use that one. Let's get rid of some of the influence from that arm underneath and hold shift. Just a bit. And even though you're posed with NG Skin Tools, if you pay for the full version, you can go mirror, and you can mirror this stuff. Okay, which way? Left, right, positive. We want to go. We want to reverse this direction here because I'm painting on his other side. Usually people paint on this side. So now if I mirror, there we go. Even though it's all posed, it all transferred over. So let's see, what does this guy do? That looks okay. It's kind of weird looking, but let's get more of that out of there. I might have made it worse, honestly. You know what? For what we're doing, this is okay. That's okay. That's okay for what we're doing. So let's take this, assume, preferred angle. Move pivot out a bit. If I move the pivot now, though, see, I'm gonna mess with my arm. I just don't want to rebind skin. The good thing about match move is we don't need the best paint, because once we get over to it, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be adding cluster deformations on top of this to better fit your silhouette. So that's why we start low res, or at least that's why I start low res. A lot of companies, like, they give these match move artists a high res rigged mesh, and then the artists have so many vertices to deal with. But you start low res, this stuff is going to be very easy to tuck in and very easy to adjust. Keep your stress low. But because it's low res and because we can deform it however we need to for the shot to work, we can manually fix and move shoulders and tuck everything in later. You'll see what I mean on probably the next stream. So let me try to knock this out. Something I also forgot how to do is select a vertice and manually enter the influence to a bone. So do I want to fix these fingers to that level of detail? I think we're fine. Oh, see, here's the rotation that I probably should have fixed. And it might cause me a little bit of grief here, but it's not too bad. It's rotating funny. It's not too bad. That's bad, but... yeah, I should have went and, like, straightened out these fingers. Wait, what? Oh, it's because I selected, yeah. Oh, no, I forgot to, usually, I extend out an extra joint. Because if you extend out another one, then delete it, you actually clean up your rotation in the last one. Can I just do this? Okay. Sure, that's dirty. That's so dirty. He just gave us the finger? Hell yeah. Gotta assert dominance. Okay. Please tell me. Please. Oh. Ah. Oh, they're not staying. Great. Oh, that's not how you do it. Oh, how do you move pivots again? I actually never have to deal with this because I always extend out another joint. So... those adjustments I just did didn't mean anything. I could just rebind this. Quickly paint that back in. But do it with a joints oriented. I don't really need to though. I should spend more time on this. See, that's pretty ugly there. That's alright, it's usable. But this is crooked. I should probably do it properly. Can you tell us about your history with 3D a bit? When you started, what your main focus, so on. So, I went to school in halfway through 2012. I went to Van Arts in Vancouver, where I currently live and work. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did a lot of really crude VFX stuff back at home in Alberta on like a MacBook and an Acer laptop where I was learning Blender at the time. And I learned After Effects, Apple Motion, Final Cut, Premiere, some other stuff I'm sure, I can't remember. But I like doing it all. So in school, I thought, I'm going to learn it all. I started studying generalist stuff. I just wanted to learn everything I could. And a lot of my time in school I spent helping others, because helping others usually meant that I would stumble across problems and learn how to solve it before it happens to me. So I learned a lot of nifty stuff doing that. But I didn't spend a whole lot of time focusing on my work as much as I should have. So I was able to do a lot, but I didn't come out of school with the coolest demo reel. So the demo reel didn't really get me much attention anywhere, but there was a match move shot in there that I did with PF Track that attracted Zoic. And so yeah, I got my job in match move. So I kept doing some VFX stuff on the side. Over the years, I've kind of dropped out of it a fair amount. So in practice, I have to get back into VFX. But I remember a lot of stuff enough that I can problem solve. So I can do a lot of problem solve and stuff. Hate blended. Hate Blender. What I hate about Blender is the crazy side of the community. I love Blender, but Blender is not a strong compositor. Sculpting is better in other software. Animation is better in Maya. Effects way better in Houdini. Texture painting way better in Substance Painter. Blender does a lot of things. it doesn't specialize in any of those things. So if you're gonna make something look amazing in Blender, chances are it's mostly a static environment with light, smoke if you're gonna put atmosphere, volumes. But Blender, dude, the stuff that you can do in it is so fun and fast. Yeah, a lot of software is taking a lot of time to upgrade. Blender is upgrading so fast that it's gonna start eclipsing a lot of programs, like it already is in some cases. But man, I hate people who keep trying to preach how amazing Blender is and why is it not industry standard. But you're not. It's not industry standard because it doesn't do any of its individual things as well as like Nuke, Substance, Houdini, Maya. Yeah, it just doesn't. And it can't handle large scale scenes. It crashes when you load in like, or sorry, not crash. It takes a long time to load in dense geometry and stuff. I've also been trying to think if I want to rebind this real quick. You know what? Rather than sit and wonder about it, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take this mesh, skin, unbind. Let's see. Reficule, VFX, and Houdini. Oh yeah, Houdini is definitely taken over as well. Houdini's great. Oh crap, I gotta set initial pose here. There we go. Skin. Unbind. There we go. Houdini for VFX. Yeah. Houdini has a compositor. It has a lot of stuff in it. You can do a lot of stuff in Houdini. Okay, so these joints. Oh, did I mess with this earlier? And that's not going to stick like that. Yeah, it snapped back. I should have done this on a flat surface and then attached it later. And you know what? This should have pointed forward. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was in the wrong... I was in the wrong thing. What was I in? Wow, okay. Okay, these are kind of fine. I am an idiot. Let me rotate that a little bit though. Now I can clean it up a little bit better. I am an idiot. Oh, and here's that wrong one. Yeah, this is good. Okay. When you hold W, E, or R, you can change your rotation axis to your object, world, component, whatever. I wasn't on object. Oh, I am an idiot. Okay. Midgard sounds very familiar to my path, including Zoic. Oh, you were at Zoic? If you don't mind me asking, what branch? Mine was, you know, Vancouver. Whoops. LA. Reficule. Rigging is better in Maya. Oh yeah, it's way better in Maya. Rigging is so powerful in Maya. Blender, you can do some cool rigging, but I have not seen anything that has astounded me yet. I'm going through an 11-hour rigging course right now. Fantastic course. Rigging in Blender is fun and has some benefits. But I haven't seen anything that has wowed me yet. This part is so slow. I'm sorry. On the thumb, this is a good thing to fix right now. Okay, which way? Okay, that goes inwards. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me just check these end bones. These little panes. Yeah, figured as much. Oh, I don't know which way's positive. Crap. We're gonna wing it. I'm not gonna be selecting these end caps later anyway. But sometimes I accidentally select them and they cause little bits of havoc for me. So just gonna roughly rotate these into position, and I'm probably introducing some weird Euler stuff. But that's fine. I don't select those. I just sometimes accidentally do. Okay, let me bind this. Go away. That is one thing I will. That is one of the things I'll also give the Blender. It is not buggy, or as buggy as Maya. People also saying Blender doesn't crash. I've had Blender crash so many times. Okay. I think my idiocy... Okay, nice. 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 Oh, I'm having a good time. Oh, crap. Unbind that real quick. There we go. Okay. Okay, now, one more time. Pinky's okay. Look at the length of that pinky. I messed that up. Again, it doesn't have to be great. So this stuff, let me just take a quick peek. Okay, there's our palm. I can flatten out those fingers. All right. Okay. I think I'm okay with this. So let me very quickly do that weird shoulder thing. Oh, I could have moved that, couldn't I have? I should have. Whoops. Also going to delete this arm. Take this. Mirror. And the names are all L, yes. Okay. Okay, with some painting, that's maybe better. I don't know. Again, doesn't have to be great. So initialize, paint, and where's my colors? There they are. Right arm. And I'm going to go to that spine. And let's extend the arm up. Oh, before I move this, let me also reset preferred angle. Oh, that's looking better anyway, except for that weirdness. So let's bring this up. Whoops. Let me go to mirror. That's okay. It's got a little bit of stuff there, but yeah, it's kind of eh. I can't remember. How do I isolate these colors too? There we go. Okay. I don't really care about that. Okay, now I could smooth. Whoops. Yeah, it really shows how good I am at rigging. Okay, I didn't do that very well, but hey, it's softer. Okay, cool. Let me mirror that over. There we go. Wraps around. Ew. I don't like that. Cool. Okay. All right, I'm happy. I am happy. Okay, I guess let me just bring my camera over and see what this does. See if I can do some key poses and yeah. Whoop. I have to apply distortion. Walnut, what do you try to do by the end of the stream? I'm gonna try to do my key poses and see if my really crappy rig works. Yeah, I think I'm gonna block in all his key movements, and maybe toss the mesh in the synthesize at the end and distance solve the head. I don't know. Actually, I had a roadmap that I wanted to do. I might do a little bit more, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see. Okay, so this thing. Let's take the camera over. Whoops. And now let me write out my distortion sequence. $1,001. Interesting. Why is that not working? You can import a video into Maya. I wouldn't use a video. Don't use video files. Use image sequences. But yeah, you could use movie files, I think. I'm pretty sure. But use image sequences. JPEG image sequences. There we go. Use image sequence. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work before. I typed something wrong. By the way, if everybody thinks I should stop streaming and do my next part in the next stream, let me know, because I know people have places to be. But I think I'm gonna try and do max 20 minutes. Okay, so where's my outliner? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do some cleanup. HK tools. I'm using HK tools because people can download that for free. Bake camera. There we go. Baked out the world space. That's pretty annoying if you don't have a bake tool. Camera trackers. Shift P. And I'm going to also bake out my object. So does that only... Oh, does this not... whatever, I can just Shift P this object out. I could have Shift P'd the camera too because I didn't move this. I'm a smart individual. Locators. Call this shot cam underscore. I call this iron 0001. Underscore, and at track VFX we just put the frame number in there. I don't know why, personally. 1036 frames. Okay, so let's also group up our man and the body. I'm gonna call this root. I'm gonna call the bottom spine a root. So I'll group those up and call it, I don't know, man rig. Keep it clean. And for our object, I don't know why I do this, but oh, let's see, Reficule, we learning. I don't know why I do this, but all my raw objects, I put it to the top of Maya somewhere up here because those are I just like to keep track of where my original animated objects are from Synthesize because I'm spending my time down here constraining to the objects. So I'm gonna keep that up there. Not that I'm using that head yet because I gotta refine its distance to match the rig and Synthesize later. Okay, I'm gonna split my view. Middle mouse my camera over here. And let's set my resolution. What was my resolution? Not that resolution. Although I like that resolution, but it's not the one I want to use. I want the resolution because clients, big studios, they don't want your undistorted resolution that Synthesize gives you. They want the original working resolution of the plate like this, which is weird because they lose quality in their redistort, but whatever. Clients be clients. I mean, I get why. It makes things easier in the pipeline. I get it. What was the resolution? 4096, 1720. There we go. Midgard, never comp on the undistorted plate. Oh yeah, don't do that. Do not. Yeah, that's not what I was saying. Unless you were just putting it out there. But yeah, Synthesize, 3D Equalizer, and all these software, they'll undistort your plate, and they will increase the resolution mathematically correct. And it gives you resolution. So when you bring your plate and do your stuff in like Maya and whatever, you can enter in your higher resolution that Synthesize gave you. So then when you take that plate into your compositing software, you can reformat it. You can redistort it and format it in a way that you don't lose resolution on your redistort. Because on your redistort here, when you render at that original resolution, the center of the screen is the most damaged because it has to expand out to fit your screen. But yeah, it's either you do, that's the method with this. It's either this or a lot of studios use overscan where the plate goes outwards. But depending on who you work with and whose pipeline you work with, that can be a challenge. And as an outsourced company, Track VFX, we typically give people this kind of distortion because it reduces a lot of headaches with certain studios. But mostly you can preserve your quality easier without allowing for a heightened resolution in this aspect if you use overscan. Yeah. It's different pipelines. Some studios don't like us giving certain things, so I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to emphasize that overscan does get a little confusing in comp, but I prefer to have overscan CG myself. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the overscan method has been around longer, I think. I can't remember. Walnut, I guess I can see the advantage of overscan, but I prefer the method you're using. It's simpler. Yeah, I like just this. It's hard to screw up because the program gives you the new resolution. You just render that resolution, which is the same as you giving extra resolution to an overscan plate, but you've now avoided the math. And now you just redistort outwards. Yeah, a lot of pipelines just don't do it that way, so they're kind of stuck in their ways. Okay. So just giving this a little playback so it caches. Now let's right click, give this a use background. This is massive. What happened? Where's my guy? I didn't move my scene up over here, did I? Okay. Was he at least at the correct depth? No, he was standing there. I'm going to bring this dude over to Maya just a reference. There we go. Also, now that everything's imported, by the way, before I do anything crazy and start going nuts with this, I'm going to version it up right now. Make sure you make plenty of versions when you're doing ROTOANIM before you do any major milestone stuff. I don't need this alignment to be perfect. I just need it general. Okay. Now let's get rid of this guy. I'm just going to delete him. I really don't need him anymore. Also, the image plane serves no purpose in your perspective view. So I'm going to go looking through camera. Okay. Now, scary, scary moment of truth. I'm also going to give this a shot where I reference the head in space. I'm going to bring my synthesized sculpted head in here. So first frame, I'm going to export this head in the first frame. This is a sloppy way to bring it from synthesized, by the way. I'm just going to give it another crude name there. Selected meshes. Import. Okay, so that head I exported on the first frame. So it's matching the position in Maya. So I got to parent it now. The head has a weird pivot, that's why it's dirty. But I'm just going to parent it under object 1. There we go. So let's go use background. Also, let's color the head. Let's make it red. Okay. So if anyone wanted to know, right away, you could take your rigged head, line it up, and let's go outliner. You can pick any object within your object here, but I like to create a locator, put it under here, zero it out. So this locator here, right here, this is going to be my little offset control. So I'm going to snap it like on the nose, maybe. Wow, I really need backface culling. Hold on. There we go. So roughly close. So now I'll take this and the head, constrain, parent, and hey. That looks so stupid. That looks so awful. So I'm going to leave that parented for now. I'm going to see if I can block this in with that actually parented in. So by the way, if I have to, I will scale this. Also, if you're doing this too, proper rigs will make it so that you can't really rotate in impossible ways for your arm. So try to remember, hey, your arm goes this way. Your arm does not do this. So try to not break too many rules when you do this. Also, we gotta bring this body forward, I guess. Whoops, I moved my camera. Don't move your camera. Lock and bake your camera. I keep forgetting that this HK Tools does not lock my camera for me when I bake. I'm used to that being done for me. Okay. What's this? Oh, cool. Oh, I didn't do the access for the chest. That's fine. That is totally fine. But I'm going to be I'll probably do a chest track later and I'll parent the chest like so. We'll see. I might not do that. Okay, let's see what could be done here. So I don't care about what his feet are doing. The bottom half of his body could do whatever it wants. So let's start with this. So it looks like his torso might be around here, and then the rest of the movement could be happening in his spine. His arm's a little bit short here. There, that feels a little bit normal. A little bit more normal. This is a little bit weird looking. He moves his body back and forth, but again, we're not worried about... legs and feet. They're not visible. Also, if you're doing this, typically, again, most people have to deal with a rig. I am fortunate enough where I'm going to be deforming anything and twisting things if I need to match better to some body parts. But sometimes you don't want to do that. If I were you, watch the symmetry lines of your body, line it up with, like, this vertex here. Try to keep it in line with the center of his chest if you have to. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't key all the points. I didn't key all the joints before I started posing this. So this is going to be my first pose. Oops. Motion. Oh. Oh my. Deform mesh. Yep. We're doing a ROTOANIM. Let's hide this. There we go. 10, 15. Yeah, so we're doing some rotomation. Stuck with some tracking. Yeah, but right now, I'm just kind of in this mode where I'm forgetting certain steps, which is fun. So let's straighten out these fingers. Oh, the thing that I want to do. I want to make a group for all these joints so that I can remember them. I'm going to check off at the top here, there's this blue bar of buttons. I'm going to turn off everything except for joints. So now I can highlight and grab all my joints. I'm going to go Alt-0. No, wait. With the joint selected, I'm going to go Space, Create, Sets. And I'm going to go Set, Options. And I'm going to call this All Joints. Actually, there's a thing about this too. You don't want to be keying all joints because I have a point here that's constrained to a head. I don't want to key this. Now deselect. Why? Maya, please. Oh, no, I think I was fine. Oops. Okay, I think I'm fine. Maybe. Okay, we'll see. We'll find out. Anyway, if you have a constrained object, you don't want to key it because you're probably going to mess it up. So I think I deselected that. It's just highlighted because of the hierarchy. I think. Let's go take a look. Interesting. It only selects up to that hierarchy. Okay, how do you select all that? I don't remember. Okay, you know what? I am going to do this the tedious way. Gonna expand all of these. Gonna select the tips. F. I need to get all of them selected so I can make a selection set. Okay. And there's the head, the stuff that I don't want. I'm going to select everything. There we go. Everything is actually selected and highlighted now. But I don't want the head. I don't want that stuff because I don't want to key it. It's being driven by a track. So now I'm going to call this non-constrained bones, or whatever. Apply. So now, rather than going through that whole selection again, I can come right here, and right here, I have a selection set now. Non-constrained bones. So I can just grab all of this and do a quick keyframe on everything that needs a keyframe. So rather than going through that whole mess you just saw me do. Okay, let's take the hand. His arm's too short. Still too short. Actually, both of these arms are short. So I'm gonna scale. I'm gonna match my scale here. And now I'm gonna take. Yeah, I just realized that arm doesn't. I don't know. Or is it just this one? Did something happen? Something happened to this arm. It scaled down. This arm is tiny by design. Weird. I don't know what I did. I don't know why that scaled down, honestly. Okay, and if the hand needs to be adjusted, now... Again, the nice part about making your own rig like this too is most rigs, they lock this stuff off from you. So if you try to scale this, you're kind of screwed. I'm trying to get the pose as accurate as I can, but again, this is based off of an actor we don't have a model for. So, yeah. This is a very long thumb. This model, this Maya model has weird features. Oh, this is a very weird. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have extended those fingers. My palm is just so poorly placed. We're gonna ignore that. Probably smooth that later. And a thumb is likely still wild, which is fine. Guys, we're gonna shrink all these down now. And then exaggerate this out. And yeah. Yeah, you could see the finger here now that I look at it. I didn't realize this about the model, but there is no... The space of this model here from Maya's content browser is so off. And I didn't know that. I've never used this model before. Okay. Now, I'm going to cheat it then. I'm going to bring it right down. Rotate it out. Cool. And this stuff is going to extend. This one needs to either rotate in. Oh, it's got to scale down. Try your best not to, again, twist your fingers in a weird ways that they shouldn't. Only move them this way or this way. This joint is too long. Here we're getting our finger length again, or finger length. Whoops. I shouldn't have rotated it like that. There we go. Right now, I'm not concerned about the model fit, because that's something we're going to be sculpting later as we do this. Okay. So all edges and all stuff will be tucked in later. So now I'm going to select all that stuff, key it, Shift W and E, and scale. And now I'm going to go something like over here. And I'm going to select my rig, and I think I can assume my preferred angle right here. So I don't have to go from that extreme pose. Oh yeah, look at this rig. It's lopsided. I messed something up somewhere. I moved something, or I didn't mirror it properly or something. Yeah, something happened. Yeah, things are a little bit funny. I forgot to do something at some point of the way, but that's fine. Looks like he bends his arm over here. I gotta rotate this in a bit. I'm gonna cheat the scale on this frame. Raise the clavicle if I can. This was the lopsided one, wasn't it? Okay, I gotta translate it up. There we go. I know why this stuff was lopsided. I scaled it all, but assuming preferred angle does not affect the scale. That's what I did. Okay. Shift WER. Okay. Wow. This stream is boring. I can't tell if that's his thumb. That's fine. And if you're gonna make keyframes on a, if you like right now, nothing else is keyed. Every time you make a iteration of keys, for the love of God, key every bone on that frame. Kind of impossible rotation here, but doing it anyway. I'm cheating the scale on this one. And this thumb, with that weird model distance, needs to be messed with again. Does the hand look too stupid over here? No, just a weighting issue because of that extreme stretch, but that's easy fix later. Oh man. I'm gonna see if there's some Euler thing I can fix here. I doubt it. Where's my outliner? Nah, this is just me being dumb. So gotta fix that rotation there that I added for some reason. There we go, the arm's straightening out again. There's so much more thought put into this stuff when you're not trying to do it fast, live. You can see where IK would be really handy here for stuff like that. Okay. Oh man, I don't like that. This is where IK would be amazing. That's pretty bad. Yeah, definitely should have spent a lot more time rotating these. Usually what causes this stuff is if you grab the global controller like this, because these values will do weird things and sometimes they can flip around. or it also has to do with your gimbal lock, which is usually the case, is a gimbal lock. And gimbal lock is why you want to worry about the rotation axis, the rotation orders and axis or whatever for many of your joints, which I did not do. So I don't have many frames here to move. This is that weird rotation that I did a while ago too. So I guess that was coming back to bite me. The arm's gonna do something weird now. There it is. Let's delete this. Yeah, I shouldn't have rotated it like that. That is an impossible move. The arm looks a little bit better there now. Cool. Okay, so this is kind of the blocking I wanted to do. Oh, let's fix this arm now. Right there. So this kind of ROTOANIM, honestly, this is now very close to the point where you would actually give it to an effects artist or something. For like smoke, environment interaction, maybe some water splashes and they're far off screen or something. This is to the detail that you might already hand it off to certain people. Pending a couple like things like this and the hand, I need to feel a little bit better. But you know, I might not go back into Synthize. What's the head doing? Oh, there's a little bit of drift back here. I gotta pay attention to that. I forgot to monitor the depth of the head to the body. Yeah, that needs a lot more cleaning. Usually, one of the other things I do sometimes is if I want to take the motion of the head, again, this was kind of a block in. This is now turned into a weird hybrid if I kind of want to roll with this. I'm probably not. But usually I would do a head solve, make it as good as I can. I would make a locator parented to the head, lower it down, and I would have it inherent the side-to-side motion of the head, not the up and down. So that makes the body follow the same movement as the head moving back and forth in space. I didn't want to do that here because I was just blocking things in. But I think this will still count as my block in. Yeah, I think they'll still count as my block in. Whoops. I'm not too sure what my preferred route is going to be. Because I'm in a weird in-between ground of I could clean this up and go with it. But what I want to do is clean up that chest depth and the whole body's depth to the head. But then I got to blast out all this rotation, which is going to mess with the arm. So I could do that. It would be easy, and I'd have to redo the arm work. Or I could do the solves and stuff in Synthize, get my animation going, do my depth solving. That would solve my errors, but I still got to redo the arm. So which means this would still be my block-in. I'm going to keep this as my block-in. Yeah, I'm going to do this as I was intending, the way that I was intending to do this. Okay, so I took it a little bit further than I should have for a block-in. Honestly, I wasted time doing that. It's a little bit better than a block-in, but it's still very crude and ugly, and I really don't like the hand scale. The palm should have been much lower and rounding that out, but that's a sculpting issue. Like when we get there, it's going to be really this. I might select that edge too, go deform, cluster. So I would take major areas and do little key fixes like this. And yeah, the cluster stays here, which is annoying. But I can go down, look at that vertice or that point that I messed with. And I can bring it back now if I have to. And I can use another cluster to round that out a bit if I need to. But that is why I like to start low res. A benefit of doing it this way. Because a rig, like, you're going to have all the control locked and clean for you. But because you start with that high resolution, when the clients start asking for more and more detail and a better stick everywhere, you're going to be dealing with a lot more vertices. And there are scripts where you can take a tracker, project on a mesh, do a paint weight, and then have it track like that. But then you get into the point where you have to start putting trackers in such tight quarters, and you have to control their influence amongst one another so that nothing is being stolen from the other. I can go through so many major ROTOANIM shots in movies, and I can always find an error in it because of this stuff. I just was watching Guardians of the Galaxy again recently. There's a 2, and when Star-Lord and Yondu are up in space, and there's a blue arrow. Wait, a spacesuit and the arrow rig. Oh, the spacesuit that Yondu put on Quill. The blue force field, you can see some areas where it pops in certain areas because, you know, it's a ROTOANIM. It's a lot of ROTOANIM shots, people don't go and clean because they're so high res, and they do a pretty crude job of it. They do it where it's just enough. I like to start even lower res than this body most of the time. Part of me is really, not part of me, I'm actually really regretting using this Maya body had I known what was going on with the hand. Yeah. But yeah, the benefit of starting low res is that I can adjust these vertices very easily now before I go high res and start putting like a, because sometimes I will take the actual hero model and wrap deform it to my low res. And that's how I would get the high res model back onto the stuff. Yeah. But because I've deformed this stuff so precisely, per vertice, like I would frame by frame nudge these like to match the shirt. And when you think about it, you could either track these points and synthize, which people will do, except you're going to be doing it like frame by frame because the shadows and the wrinkles, your tracker is going to pop. So if you count every vertice as a tracker, only deform what you need, like not anything under this shirt. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 manual trackers right here. You're not losing that much time. You can do that pretty quick on a shot like this. And because you do that, when you up the subdivision level or wrap a hero model onto it, it's just going to stick so much better than people using higher res meshes than having to paint weight it and then having to go back and forth in their weights and stuff. But, you know, you got to take more time in the beginning. Like, this is my block-in. What this block-in is for is I would use this as a reference in Synthize. So I would take this mesh into Synthize. Again, I put more time than I should have into this, so it's a little poppy, and I shouldn't have done that. But I'll take this into Synthize, and I will actually use distance solving to control the head's depth to this head. And I might track I'll probably track his torso or his chest, so that I'm not relying on the bottom root joint anymore. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do that on another stream. This is what I said at the start of the stream, what I wanted to do was get to this point. And I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this as my block, and I'm not gonna try and push this model like I thought I might have. Yeah. So I think I'm finished. I think I'm finished for this first stream. It has been almost 2 hours, and we're not doing too bad on speed and pacing. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for today. So if there's any questions or whatever, later though, what we're gonna be doing in the next stream is it's been over 3 hours? What? My restream streaming monitor is telling me 1 hour and 54 minutes. 2:35. I started at 11, 12, 1. What? What's up with restream? Restream is telling me 150 minutes. That's wrong. Midgard, thank you very much. Yeah, I wish I didn't use this Maya model. I'm really regretting that. That caused a lot of problems with the hand. And also, if I wasn't streaming, I would have spent like 4 total hours just on the rig alone, painting it, playing with it. I would have done some poses, painted it more. I would have oriented every joint correctly. I would have 150 minutes divided by 60. No, it's not 150 minutes. It says 1 hour and 50. It says 1 hour and then 55 minutes. But yeah, so yeah, I could have made this a lot cleaner. I still think we're going to come out with a decently cool looking result at the end of this. I just gotta keep in mind that the hand sculpt is going to take a slight bit more work, which is fine. Because the hand, that's the point of this video. That's the point for Render House. I hope you're still here, Render House. No worries if you had to step out. So yeah, in terms of how fast I tried to do this for a stream, it's not too bad. Just a lot of corners I did cut. Which is fine. But yeah, so in the future one, I'll just show roughly what we'll be doing in the next few videos. Is, well, I'm going to solve these heads, whatever, but once we get to the rigging side, stuff like these contours, what you're going to be doing is selecting stuff like this over here, deform, cluster, and now you have a cluster doing this, but you don't want it to move the arm like that. So you shift right click, paint, cluster, cluster 2 weights, and now if I open up Maya's paint tools, I'm going to replace with a value 0, flood, go 1, and now I can paint, oh, okay. I can paint in the top of the arm, and I'll extend to the back a bit. When I soften this out, smooth, and then flood. Now, see, I can control the edge for these arms. So I can key that. Of course, the arms are, you know, moving because of this blocking, but you can see how I can do that, right? But once this all looks better in the end, we're going to be doing stuff like this and tucking things in. You know, not a good thing to show that cluster trick on, but that's really the idea. Okay, so why can't I select that? Okay, so that's about it. Reficule, looking great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am gonna go try and enjoy my day now. So I don't know when I'll continue this. Maybe Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday night. And then try to finish this off on the following weekend, next weekend. And if you're still here, Render House, I'll probably make sure I schedule it around you since this is your stream. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I don't know why I said sounds good. Kind of talking to myself now, saying whatever. All right. So I'm gonna swap this over. And yeah, if there's any lingering questions, I'll just sit here for like a minute, but a couple minutes or so. So yeah. Of course I gotta turn up that music.